Here we are, 2026. I have to say, New Year's is a vibe.
You said that before, and I still don't know what that means.
I mean, think about it. It just elevates the air because people in general have hope. They get a fresh start. They get to look forward to new things. For some reason, the demarcation of a new year is like an entirely new container, a whole lot on life. Like what happened last year is in the past. We're moving forward. I mean, do you know the top 3 resolutions? Can you guess? There's polls on this. If you didn't know that, there are polls that show the top 3 2026 resolutions.
It's something about health or losing weight, exercising.
The cool thing is that they are all related to health.
Okay.
And the top one this year is exercise more.
Got it.
25% of people who responded to the poll said exercise more was their top one.
Well, that makes sense because the gyms are always packed.
They are. In the new year.
In the new year.
But this is not the same response every year. Last year, it was save more money. Was the top. And that doesn't even make the top 3 this year.
So exercise more. What were the other 2?
The second one was being happy. Is that what it says? Yeah, being happy. It's a pretty general goal, but these buckets are, some of them are broad.
Got it.
And then the third one was eating healthier. Saving money did show up, but it was not until 4th.
Well, that's interesting because that's the number one stressor, right? From polls is money is the number one stressor.
Not only is it in the polls that it's the number one stressor, it's the number one thing in the political polls. Voters want government to fix the affordability problems. That is the number one concern.
Everything is so expensive.
The number one concern across demographics, especially the young people who want to afford a house and coming out of college. But going into 2026, it shows that affordability is the number one concern, but it doesn't align with the New Year's resolution.
Well, isn't that interesting and revealing though, that it's the number one stressor, it's the number one thing people care about with government, and yet it didn't crack the top 3. I mean, that tells us something interesting about how we make decisions in general, because it's the number one stressor, number one thing we care about, yet our goals and resolutions didn't necessarily match.
Maybe exercising more is going to fix their affordability issues.
I'm not sure how that, they're going to eat less. They're going to fast more and eat less food and eat. But yeah, I guess.
I wonder if it's a different demographic that answers these polls. 3 out of 10 Americans make a New Year's resolution. Would you expect that to be higher?
Would I expect that to be higher, that 3 out of 10 make a New Year's resolution? Yeah, I think so.
Me too. I think that, everyone I'm around talks about it.
Yeah, we sit down with our...
Who doesn't talk about it?
And we're in a bubble, clearly, because we sit down with our families and our kids, and we're drafting out our intentions for the year. It's just for us, it's always been a good reset.
Yes.
Like we have a journal that goes back to 2021 when we started doing it, and we just use the same journal, and it's been great.
Taught our boys to do it and to understand what it means to pursue something. And it looks like this year, America is following Kennedy's lead, and they want to pursue better health.
Well, he's doing pull-ups in the airport. I mean, the dude is jacked. He's 70-something years old.
Inspirational. I think he's 71. Don't quote me on that. But it is inspiring.
That is. And you know what? Like, you go to these countries in the blue zones, and their people are living to 100 and beyond in good health. And that's inspirational. Isn't it interesting that he's still got 30 years until he's that age? And yet in America, though, that's super inspirational that a 70-year-old is able to do 20 unbroken pull-ups.
In a suit in the airport. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, say what you want about the guy, about what you might think about him, but come on, can you do, if you're 71 years old, can you do 20 unbroken pull-ups? I mean, I know a lot of 20-year-olds who can't do it.
Are you talking to males only right now?
Well, okay.
Or is that a loaded question?
Maybe. I don't know. Females, I mean, put the band around your foot, you can make it happen.
Well, yeah, with the band, but we don't need assistance. Okay, let's get back on track. Most people don't make bad decisions because they don't care. Isn't that what you find with the people that you serve? It's not that they don't care. They simply are lacking the framework necessary to stay on track. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we see in the polls that people don't even expect to keep their New Year's resolutions. And
And maybe that's why they don't make them anymore, is because they don't actually expect to follow through. They have lots of evidence that they don't follow through or they don't work. It's not that they don't work, it's the framework by which you've made these decisions and goals is the thing that's faulty. So it's not that your goals are bad, it's the framework by which you make decisions in your health and healthcare. And it cannot be tasky, like to eat better. Isn't that what it said? Eat better? Yeah, eat better, exercise more, sleep earlier, or just like try harder, have more discipline. Like it's all going to fail by around the middle of January.
I mean, there were others on there. They all kind of sound tasky. Pray more, spend more time with family, sleep more. You know, all of these things are, they feel like they're adding to your to-do list.
And it's not because they don't genuinely like want to change. I believe people do when they make these types of goals or answer these types of questions. They genuinely want to change, but they've never been taught maybe or never learned that if you're just making the same old decisions with the same old frameworks, you're going to get the same results. It's just a different calendar this time.
Yes, it's the same old decisions, but even if you have new decisions, if the new decisions are being made in the same old framework, they don't survive the stress test. When things get busy, when clarity wanes, when it's not new anymore, if you're inside the old framework with new decisions, where does that get us?
Right. So instead of making a list of things to do that you might do or not do, and then feel like a failure when you don't do them, and beat yourself up over it, and go to bed thinking, man, I should have done that, and I should have done this, and I'm a failure. And
stop trusting. I mean, you stop trusting yourself. When you don't keep to your own word for yourself, you stop trusting yourself. It's a big problem.
Give yourself some grace to not be perfect in 2026. And these 3 principles of vitality that we talk about in the book, and we're going to talk about it here, can be governance and guardrails and help you make principled decisions for your health and healthcare and keep you from flying off of the proverbial guardrails. What do you say? Proverbial, like flying off of the, what am I trying to say? Flying off of the
off the rails?
Yeah, going off the rails.
Going off track? I don't know.
Going off track. Yeah, I think off the rails is the statement, the phrase. They provide these guardrails from going off the rails because that's what ends up happening for so many people, is that it's a really bad decision here and there, accumulated maybe, that really throws them off. Guardrails help you from making, it helps you make less bad decisions is what it really does.
So we could simplify the whole gig of New Year's resolutions to make less bad decisions.
Yeah. So what are some of the bad decisions that, you might come across? Make less bad decisions. Okay. It'd be a bad decision to have your phone in your bed or bedroom.
Right.
Like,
not a good idea.
For circadian rhythm. That's just a bad decision to use your phone as the alarm clock and check your phone at late at night. And another bad decision is snacking after dinner. Grazing is what it's called. Grazing, going to the pantry after dinner. That's just a bad decision to do that. There's not usually anything good that comes of that. It's a bad decision when your coworker has M&Ms to, and she's so nice, and she's so friendly, and she invites you to have them when you're passing.
Maybe that's the bad decision, is accepting things out of sympathy that don't align with what you normally do.
Well, it's a bad decision to eat free food typically.
Would you like this piece of pizza? No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, free food typically.
Not all pizza is bad, but there is bad pizza, conventional pizza.
Yeah. So that, like, what are the make less bad decisions? Like, most people know, like, taking that antibiotic is not going to build your microbiome.
Right. People readily recognize that antibiotics are a bad idea now, but they take them anyway.
But they feel like they have to because they have that sinus infection that just won't go away, or they have whatever ear infection for their kid, even though it's 97% of the time viral. Still, they feel like they have to take the antibiotic. And it's those bad decisions that actually throw you off. Like it's those types of decisions called accumulated, but sometimes there's like one or two or three that make the biggest impact that will actually throw you off the rails for 2026, and it's tough to get back on.
So if we're going to be set up for success to make less bad decisions in 2026, let's cut to the chase. What's the first, you mentioned 3 principles. What's the first principle to do that?
So these
make
are 3
less bad decisions.
These are 3 principles of health and healthcare decisions. So we call them the principles of vitality, but this is the guardrails or the container by which you make decisions, or filter by which you make decisions. And number 1 is the recognition that your body is designed to heal. Because, and this is a filter, because so many times, whether it's a health expert or whether it's, your own upbringing, question, is my body actually doing the right thing in this moment? Is my body actually working towards health and longevity here? Is it working towards optimal physiology? Is it adapting appropriately? Or maybe it's doing something, and I don't think people say that's doing something stupid, but because we try to trick the body or manipulate the body, what we are then doing is communicating back to the body that you are stupid, that you're not doing the right thing.
Right.
And so that recognition that the body is designed to heal is foundational. It's got to, for health and healthcare decisions, recognizing that the body's designed to heal then actually dictates or influences type of foods you eat, type of foods you don't eat. I think that's more important, is what you don't eat. I don't put this into my body than what I do, because when you recognize it's designed to heal, then you want to steward it that way. You want to support it with the right nutrients. And so it's foundational. That principle is.
So in reality, if you adopt the principle that the body is designed to heal, it teaches you to ask the question with every decision: is this decision supporting my body's design or overriding it?
Mm-hmm.
And I like to teach moms that look at what your child's body is doing as doing the right thing at the right time, because it is. When little Susie vomits, most moms are like, oh, I hate vomit. I can't stand it. This is horrible. And then Susie hates vomit, and Susie has anxiety with vomiting because mom hates vomit so much. But if you can get it in your head that, oh, Susie's body is responding, it's doing the right thing at the right time. It's purging, cleansing, detoxing, getting something out. And then Susie catches that fire, it's a completely different framework to look at, am I supporting or overriding the body?
Yeah, and that'll help you not fall victim to fear-based medical decisions. It'll also help you not to overuse suppressive types of interventions or types of solutions. Like, it really helps to keep you from flying off the rails. We're going to keep going back to prevention of flying off the rails in 2026. This is the most important thing.
And trusting the body to build that resilience. If it's designed to heal, and whatever it's doing is only strengthening the resilience that we need to live in today's modern industrialized world.
Well, it helps to give you discernment, I think. Discernment of what do I do? And we're going to get to true healthcare decisions, like, is it moving towards revitalization of the body? But even with daily decisions of, am I fasting? Am I not fasting? Am I going to exercise? Am I not going to exercise? The type of exercise that I'm going to do. If your body's designed to heal and your body and movement is essential to life, then you don't have to overburden yourself with like, oh, I've got to go do this like high intensity interval training, and I've got to do that 5 to 6 times a day, or in a week. And like that can become another source of stress, as opposed to just like, okay, my body's designed to heal and movement is essential to life. I'm going to go out and walk when I otherwise would have sat on the couch and watched TV.
Right. What is your commitment to moving? And it's a bad decision to ignore your commitments. So just don't ignore your commitments. Seems simple, right?
Well, it's a bad decision to sit on the couch for 4 hours. There's another example. It's just a bad decision. Like, there's not a lot. Are you reading your Bible? Maybe you're reading your Bible, but like, are you reading your Bible for 4 hours? Probably not. So like, get up and move, do some other things. Like, these are just kind of basics, but eliminate more bad decisions in 2026. And principle number 1 is your body's designed to heal, so support it. Principle number 2 is that the body can become devitalized. And devitalization is the root cause. So we hear a lot about root causes. Root causes of, we want to get to the root cause of health problems. Well, the root cause of health problems is devitalization. There's one cause. Literally, there's one cause. Name the condition, name the diagnosis, and there was one cause to that condition or diagnosis, and it was devitalization. The body became devitalized. And I'll give you just a quick example of this. We had a plant just recently, like a house plant.
We did.
Yeah, you sat it right over actually here in this room, and it didn't look so happy, right? And when we're looking at a plant, and the plant is dying, not dead, but dying actively, there's signs that it's dying. It looks a little dry in the soil. The plants are a little, the leaves are a little withered, and it's not as green as it once was. It's not as vibrant as it once was. We don't look at that plant and be like, what drug does this plant need in this moment? Like maybe it needs some hormone replacement therapy work done to it. Maybe we should throw some peptides on it. No, we say, well, the soil's dry. Oh my goodness, it was in this corner in the room over there. It had no sunlight, so let's get it in sunlight. And sure enough, so I take the plant out there. This just happened. I take the plant out to Dr. Tracy out there, and I'm not a plant person, but she is. And she's like, no, it has little baby plants growing off the bottom. It's still living. It's still, just give it some water, give it some sunlight, and it's gonna do great. The leaves will start to get more vibrant again. It's going to do awesome. Our bodies are vital. In the same way that a plant just needs 3 things in order to come back to life and revitalize itself, our body has the ability to become devitalized, yes, but then it can become revitalized. And that brings us to principle number 3, is that every intervention that we take must align with revitalization. It has to. It has to be the litmus test. It has to be the filter by which we make decisions for our health and healthcare. Does this work towards revitalization? If injecting that plant with a bunch of chemicals doesn't make sense to you, then why does it then make sense then to do the same thing with your body? Like, at what point do we step outside of natural laws and say, well, this makes sense because I'm a human and I'm not an animal, or I'm not a plant, or I'm not at what point do we say, like, I'm a human, so I must be deficient in drugs?
Yeah. Why do we believe that a plant is more capable of restoration than we do our own frame, our own bodies, and the brilliance and the intricacy of it? And I think that what I often hear is, well, is that actually going to help? You don't know my situation. You don't know how bad my health is, or what I was born with, or what my genetics are. And I think we have to stop asking, is this going to fix it? And say, is this going to revitalize?
That's right. Is this going to restore vitality? Because that's what creates ultimate adaptability.
If we trust the design.
And if we're moving towards revitalization, but if we're trying to biohack our way into health, or trying to inject health, or try to swallow health, or try to manipulate the body, you're actually working in a way that could potentially work towards devitalization. Like, you do that to a plant and inject it with something, like, there's a risk there. It's not only might not work, like, it's a risk that you're going to kill the plant. Like, that intuitively about a plant. Like, if you start the more you intervene, the more that you do to it, even the more that you
disrupt the soil,
right?
Change the soil too much, change too many things. And I think that's what people miss, is they think that they are being passive or irresponsible with their health if they don't do the intervention. And the intervention could be that bad decision that you need to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
If we take a look at the decisions we're making, the things that built up to create devitalization,
mm-hmm.
it might feel passive just to scale back and not intervene, but give a better environment. But it's not passive.
Well, the real inspiration for this is we were sitting at a dinner table with somebody, and she's like, I just love all the new stuff in Maha, and I'm not eating seed oils. And she was like really proud of, like, I've gotten seed oils out of our house. It's really difficult to do that. Like, how do you get your kids to not do seed oils? Like, our kids still like all the things that have seed oils, and she still vaccinates her kids. it's like it's like, I'm sorry, but like you're getting rid of seed oils, but then you're injecting things that are so much worse than seed oils into that child's body. And like, good for you for getting rid of seed oils. But mama, there are some things that you're doing right now that are directly contributing to your child's devitalization. That intervention did not work towards revitalization. I want to say it plainly here because I think we will look back in a decade or maybe sooner and say that this was the biggest atrocity to mankind to try to manipulate the immune system with the intentions of health. Like with the intentions of trying to prevent these, call it communicable diseases or vaccine preventable diseases. Well, we will look back at humanity and see the onslaught of this and say, what in the heck were we thinking?
Trying to override natural processes. I mean, if you look at some of these shots that are still on the schedule, they're childhood illnesses, chickenpox. I mean, chickenpox. They never put that on the schedule to get rid of hospitalizations or death. It was an inconvenient thing for moms to miss work.
Right.
So why are we intervening? Is that the next bad decision? And I think that freedom starts with understanding that we can simply avoid the bad decisions and become the decision maker. Because if we're not making the decisions, we're not truly free. We're outsourcing our decisions. Someone else is hoisting them upon us.
Well, this is the idea of being principled, of living a principled life. It's the idea that you have governance over your decisions. You have governance over your thoughts. You have governance over what you're going to do with your family. And there's a filter that we can all in some way come together on and say, yeah, this would be a bad idea, regardless of the newest health trend or the science of the day that is a pendulum that swings back and forth. And so regardless of what is being said or the science that is promised for tomorrow, we can say, yeah, I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not, that doesn't align with my beliefs. And philosophically, it doesn't align with principle.
And always remember, you cannot unring the bell once you intervene. That yes, there's detoxes that can be done. However, there are certain interventions that create a cascade of effects that you should have just avoided altogether to begin with.
Yeah, you can't unring the bell in the sense of like, you can't undo what was done. But remember, the body is vital and it's always working towards revitalization. And if perfection was the requirement for vitality, none of us would have it because none of us are perfect people. And we've all made bad. This is coming out of two imperfect people having made bad decisions over time.
That's why the episode is make less bad decisions.
Not make no bad decisions. Like you're going to make some bad decisions. Giddy up. Like still it's coming for you. It's coming for Leah and I. Like we are imperfect people living in an imperfect world. And we need to stop making that the excuse, though. We live in a fallen world, so we're inevitably going to be sick and need a bunch of drugs. That right there is a lie that we need to speak back to. We live in a fallen world, yes. We are imperfect people, yes. But we make decisions that are in line with revitalization because the body is brilliant and it's brilliantly designed, and we honor and steward that.
And that's the beauty of the new year. It allows us new hope to believe in ourselves again, to believe that good outcomes are coming. We, in our family, it's funny because we always laugh when we hear the other person say, it's going to be the best year yet, and we look at each other and we're like, yep, we believe it. We believe that this year will be the best year yet. And we'll say it again next year.
Shoot, I look back in the last 5 years. I not only believed it, but there were some hard things about some of those years. But it was the best year yet because I had not experienced those types of conflicts. I had not experienced those types of resistance that only made you and I stronger. So in this year, you don't have to master everything. You just need guardrails strong enough to stop self-sabotage, especially when you're under stress.
That's it. Stop the self-sabotage and have a framework that can survive the stress. And I think that if you keep these things in mind, it'll create more clarity, less chaos, more order, less intervention, and it's truly going to be freedom for individuals, freedom for families.